Global Towers. Starting with the SSS Rank Talent, God Tier Extraction. Chapter 6. Finish off the Green Python's Den, Plentiful Harvest. Inside the tower, Lu Yan relied on spirit vision to travel through the forest alone. At present, he was already quite strong. Let alone level 1 beasts, he could probably even easily deal with level 2 beasts. 2. However, he did lack combat experience and had only fought once so far. Therefore, he was still somewhat cautious to choose a beast that he was confident in killing as a target. While he was searching for beasts, a few notifications appeared on his smart wristband. An awakened has died in battle, located 300 meters southwest of you. 1. An awakened has died in battle, located 300 meters southwest of you. Ellipsis. Several notifications sounded consecutively. It turned out that many awakened had died in one go, and all of them were in the same location. At the same time, screams and sounds of escape could be heard from the southwest. It seemed that they had encountered a group of beasts or a powerful beast. Lu Yan naturally wouldn't miss out on such an opportunity, so he hurriedly went over. It didn't take long for him to arrive at the scene of the incident. There were traces of a battle, and the remaining awakened had long fled. What was left on the spot were several beasts, all in the shape of pythons. They were as thick as a person and looked extremely terrifying. Lu Yan hurriedly used his smart wristband to check the beast's information. Green Python. Level 1. HP 200 300ths. MP 100 300ths. 2. Strength 3-2. Vitality 3-5. Agility 2-6. Spirit 1-8. Adaptability 2-9. Talent none. Skills constrict, poison. These beasts were all level 1 green pythons. There were a total of 5 of them. 1. Among them, 3 had been seriously injured, and from the looks of it, they seemed to have eaten their fill. Although the green pythons were very big, to begin with, to have eaten a whole person, it was apparent that they had had too much to eat as they seemed to have slower movements. As such, their combat power had definitely dropped. 5 level 1 beasts with an overall combat power that had dropped by quite a bit. Lu Yan assessed his own strength. The chances of winning were great, but there was also a certain amount of risk. However, he was very tempted. The key was that if he won, he would get a rich harvest. Moreover, seeing how these 5 green pythons were unwilling to leave, it seemed that they were protecting something here. Before entering the tower, the instructors had said that many beasts in the tower would be protecting something. If one could defeat those beasts, one would then be able to obtain the precious resources. The den of green pythons before him seemed to be in line with this. Faced with such a huge temptation, Lu Yan decided to take a risk. Even if he was truly no match for them, he could only use rapid step to escape anyway. These green pythons were either too full or injured, and simply wouldn't be able to catch up to him at all. 3. Having made his decision, Lu Yan no longer hesitated. He gripped the dagger in his hand tightly and slowly approached them. 2 green pythons had already eaten their fill and were resting with their eyes closed. The remaining 3 green pythons had suffered serious injuries and were also resting. Lu Yan decided to start with the weak ones. He would first target the injured green pythons and finish off the 3 injured ones as soon as possible. This way, he would be able to face the remaining 2 green pythons with all his strength and reduce the risk of being besieged. As he got closer, although Lu Yan had not made any sound, the green pythons were cold-blooded animals, after all, and they were very sensitive to heat. At this moment, they had already extended their tongues and looked in Lu Yan's direction. 2. Seeing that he had been exposed, Lu Yan did not hide anymore. With the activation of Rapid Step, Lu Yan's speed doubled, and his body became much lighter, allowing him to be extremely agile. Holding his dagger, Lu Yan instantly appeared in front of the nearest green python that was injured. With the activation of Strength Enhancement, Lu Yan's strength instantly increased by 3 times. He then used all the strength in his body and stabbed down at the weak point of the green python. After all, he did have the common sense that the weakest point of a snake was 0.7 inches from its head. 14. Under Liu Yan's full-strength attack, the dagger accurately pierced through the python's weakest point, and along with it, his wrist also went into the body of the green python. With a twist, he pulled his wrist out. With that, the green python before him that had its tongue out and was about to attack directly fell to the ground. 4. In the first instant of the battle, he had settled one green python. At this moment, two green pythons that were around him also charged over. This time, Liu Yan did not choose to face them head-on. Instead, he relied on the speed of rapid step to charge over and dodge the attacks of the two green pythons. Then, he came to the side of a lone green python not far away and similarly launched an attack. Following this, another green python was killed with a single strike. Liu Yan's confidence immediately soared, and he continued to fight. 2. A few minutes later, Liu Yan was breathing heavily while resting, his entire body covered in the green python's blood. As for the 5 green pythons, they had all fallen. He had defeated 5 beasts alone. Congratulations on winning the battle. Obtained +1 5 EXP. 1. Congratulations on winning the battle. Obtained +1 8 EXP. Congratulations on winning the battle. Obtained +1 6 EXP. Ellipsis. Congratulations on your level increase. You have reached level 2. You have gained 8 attribute points that are free to be allocated. 8. Hearing the notification, Liu Yan was extremely surprised. To think he had leveled up all of a sudden. For him to have leveled up on the first day he had entered the tower, his improvement speed was truly terrifying. However, Liu Yan knew that he was tired after having just experienced a great battle, thus, he shouldn't stay here for long. Green pythons were ultimately like snakes. As such, they were very vengeful. If other green pythons were to discover the situation here, they would definitely come to take revenge on Liu Yan. Liu Yan hurriedly went to the green python's corpses and began using divine extraction. Divine extraction of green python's corpse has been successful. Obtained. Strength +3, Stamina +2, Agility +3. 5. Divine extraction of green python's corpse has been successful. Obtained. Strength +3, Stamina +2, Agility +3. 1. Ellipsis. What surprised Liu Yan was that he had clearly only been left with one chance to use divine extraction just now. It had only been an hour, and he should only be able to use it twice at most. 3. But now, he could directly use it 5 times. 4. Liu Yan couldn't care less about that at the time being. He should just quickly cast divine extraction for now and study the reason later. There were 2 green pythons with bulging stomachs. It was obvious that they had eaten the corpses of the awakened. Liu Yan covered his nose and endured the strong smell of blood as he used his dagger to cut open the bellies of the 2 green pythons. He found the corpses of the 2 awakened and used his divine extraction. Divine extraction of the awakened corpse has been successful. Obtained. Agility +0.1, E-grade skill, extreme speed. Divine extraction of the awakened corpse has been successful. Obtained. Agility +0.1, E-grade skill, fast step. Congratulations, skills, rapid step, extreme speed, and fast step have been successfully merged. Obtained. D-grade skill, ghost steps. 3. Seeing the notification before his eyes, Liu Yan was extremely surprised. He did not expect that the skills he had obtained from extraction could be merged into skills of a higher grade. As expected of the legendary highest SSS grade heaven-defying talent. To think it had such a wonderful use. 1. Liu Yan was extremely happy, but he didn't have the time to carefully study it, because thanks to spirit vision, he could already sense that a few beasts were rushing over from a direction. It was very likely that the other green pythons had smelled the scent of blood were rushing over. 1. Liu Yan hurriedly held his dagger as he headed in the direction behind the green python's corpses. Before the battle, Liu Yan had already noticed that the 5 green pythons seemed to be protecting the patch of flowers as if there was something precious behind them. Pushing aside the messy flowers, Lu Yan's eyes lit up when he saw what greeted him. It was actually a purple herb that looked very extraordinary. Lu Yan hurriedly used his smart wristband to check its information. Detoxifying purple herb. Grade E. Effect. If directly applied to the wound, it can quickly heal the wound. If ingested, it can detoxify most poisons. If refined using a specific method then ingested, it can improve a certain attribute. 5. Lu Yan did not even think about it before he raised his dagger, quickly dug out the detoxifying purple herb, and put it into his backpack. With a full harvest, Lu Yan left in the opposite direction according to what he had sensed with spirit vision. Chapter 7. Skill Fusion, the wondrous use of the talent divine extraction. In a corner of the forest, after confirming that there were no other beasts around and that there was no danger, Lu Yan stopped and climbed up a tree. After obtaining the attributes just now, Lu Yan clearly felt that his body had become much stronger in all aspects. After running for so long, he wasn't even panting. Lu Yan first took out the detoxifying purple herb from his backpack. According to the information displayed on his wristband, after using a special method to refine it and then ingesting it, the detoxifying purple herb could improve his attributes. Wasn't Lu Yan's divine extraction the best way to refine it? After all, what other method could be stronger than the SSS grade talent divine extraction? 1. Lu Yan kept a small portion of the detoxifying purple herb for backup, in case he was injured or poisoned later. Then, he used divine extraction on the remaining majority of the detoxifying purple herb. 2. A white light enveloped the detoxifying purple herb, and a notification appeared in front of Lu Yan. Divine extraction of the detoxifying purple herb has been successful. Obtained. Agility +6, Spirit +5, Adaptability +9. 11. Instantly, Lu Yan felt that his body had become much lighter, and he had become much more agile. At the same time, his mind had also become much clearer, which felt very comfortable. Lu Yan was quite surprised. He hadn't expected that he would be able to obtain so many attributes after extracting the detoxifying purple herb. The attribute improvement he had obtained from the herb was equivalent to the attributes of 2 or 3 level 1 beast corpses. The key was that each extraction of a level 1 beast would use up a turn of divine extraction, while extracting the detoxifying purple herb had only taken 1 chance. It was truly much more worth it. 6. Previously, the situation had been too urgent and dangerous, so Lu Yan had not had the time to check his harvest. Now that he finally had the time, he hurriedly opened his attribute panel through his smart wristband. Lu Yan. Level 25300. HP 555/150. MP 283/150. Strength Attack 4-2. 7. Vitality Defense 3-8. Agility Speed 5-1. Spirit Mana 23. Adaptability Magic Resistance 28. Luck Probability 4-3. Allocatable Attribute Points 8. 1. Talent Divine Extraction SSS Grade Usage Times Limit 2/10 CD refreshes once every hour. 4. Skills Strength Enhancing D grade, Ghost Steps D grade, Spirit Vision E grade. Equipment Federation Defense Equipment Set E grade, Federation Special Dagger E grade. Ghost Steps Grade D. Effect Upon usage, your agility will increase by 3 times. 9. Looking at his attribute panel, Lu Yan was extremely excited. First, he had gained enough express from hunting 5 level 1 green pythons, allowing him to level up to level 2, and his various attributes had received a certain increase. Next, he had used divine extraction on the corpses of the 5 green pythons as well as the detoxifying purple herb, and his attributes had received another huge increase. Because the attributes obtained from extracting the green pythons were strength, vitality, and agility, while the attributes provided by the detoxifying purple herb were agility, spirit, and adaptability, Lu Yan's agility attributes were currently extremely exaggerated, and his strength and vitality attributes were also very high. His other attributes were slightly inferior, but they were still much stronger than the average level 2 awakened. Liu Yan pondered for a moment. Although his spirit and adaptability attributes were quite low, they were enough for the time being, since he didn't need them as much. Of the 8 allocatable attribute points he had obtained from leveling up, Liu Yan directly distributed them evenly between his strength and vitality. 4. After distributing them, Liu Yan's strength reached a terrifying 46 points and his vitality reached 42 points. Liu Yan roughly estimated that although he was now only a level 2 awakened, his attributes were already much stronger than a level 3 awakened. 4. Other than that, the biggest gain from his operation this time was undoubtedly the agility type skills that he obtained after using divine extraction on the 2 corpses of the awakened. In addition to the agility type skill that Liu Yan already had, the 3 skills had actually been fused into a higher grade agility type skill. The number of skills may have decreased from 3 to 1, but this one skill was even more powerful than the previous 3 combined. 4. With the power of ghost steps, coupled with Liu Yan's ridiculously high agility attribute, he estimated that even a level 5 awakened couldn't compare to his current speed. When he learned that the SSS grade divine extraction was able to fuse the skills obtained from extraction, he was instantly extremely excited. 4. This way, the lower grade skills he would obtain in the future would still be useful since he could fuse them. As such, even if he wanted to obtain powerful skills of higher grades, he didn't have to take the risk of using divine extraction on high-level beasts or corpses of the awakened. He could just slowly extract skills from low-level corpses and fuse those skills together to become stronger. As for the issue with the number of times he could use divine extraction, Liu Yan had a rough idea in his heart. As his level advanced, the number of times he could use divine extraction would seem to reset in an instant while also increasing by a lot. 1. Before killing the green pythons, Liu Yan only had 2 times left. 1. However, after killing the green pythons and leveling up, Liu Yan had used divine extraction a total of 8 times, but he still had 2 more chances. Learning this, Liu Yan was relieved. With this, as his level increased, he could use divine extraction more frequently and become stronger faster. As expected of the top-tier SSS grade talent, the stronger he was, the faster he could improve. There was no upper limit to his potential. After understanding his strength, Liu Yan started planning his future path. Although the beginner mission required them to hunt beasts within 7 days to increase their strength and enter level 2 of the tower, only a day had passed at this point, and Liu Yan's strength was already more than enough. If he continued to stay on level 1, his gains wouldn't be too great. It would be a waste to use the remaining times he had left of his talent on level 1 beasts. 6. For now, Liu Yan needed to head to level 2 of the tower and hunt higher level beasts to level up and strengthen himself with divine extraction. 6. In addition, level 2 would have more abundant resources. 6. On level 1, most of the beasts were at level 1, and only a few had resources to guard. For example, the beasts that Liu Yan had encountered so far weren't guarding any resources at all except for the green pythons. The harvest after hunting was indeed quite unsatisfying to the current Liu Yan. 3. After thinking about it, Liu Yan decided to head closer to the entrance of level 1 and prepare to enter level 2. With this, Liu Yan did not dawdle as he straight away set off. Shuttling through the forest and approaching the level 1 entrance, Liu Yan was also thinking about his current strength. In terms of skills, he had the D-grade strength enhancement, D-grade ghost steps, and F-grade spirit vision. 5. A strength enhancement skill, an agility enhancement skill, and a passive perception type skill. At the time being, he did not have any active offensive skills that he could use. In the previous battle, he could only rely on his strength and agility to stab directly with his dagger. He didn't have another way to attack. As Liu Yan thought about it, he decided he had to pay attention to this aspect. He had to find an opportunity to get an active offensive skill to improve his weakness. After all, without a powerful offensive skill and only great strength, he could not fully display his strength. As he was walking, Liu Yan suddenly heard the sounds of a battle not far away. The sounds were somewhat chaotic as if there were quite a number of awakened and beasts. Wherever there was a battle, there would be the corpses of beasts or the awakened, which meant there would be an opportunity to use divine extraction and become stronger. Lu Yan smiled and hurried over. Chapter 8. Meeting with a team of awakened, powerful B-grade talent. 1. When Lu Yan arrived, 7 to 8 awakened were engaged in an intense battle. At first glance, Lu Yan recognized them. When the teams had been formed and went their separate ways, Lu Yan clearly remembered that this had been the most powerful team. The team had 8 people, the weakest with a D-grade talent, along with a few C-grade talents as well as an expert with a B-grade talent leading the group. As such, they were extremely powerful. At the moment, the battle was ongoing. Lu Yan used his smart wristband to check the stats of the opposing beasts. Mutated Poison Rat. Level 1. HP 150 200ths. MP 100 100ths. Strength 2-2. Vitality 1-8. Agility 2-9. Spirit 2-1. Adaptability 2-5. Talent none. Skills: Bite, Poison Release. The beasts were a group of mutant poison rats. In terms of strength, they were much weaker than the green pythons that Lu Yan had encountered before. There were a total of 6 mutant poison rats in the pack. Although this was the first day that the team had entered the tower and they didn't have much combat experience, the grades of their talents weren't low, after all. They were strong, so they were currently able to deal with the mutated poison rats. The leader, Lu Yan remembered, was called Wang Qing. He was that powerful awakened with the B-grade talent. 1. When the teams were being formed, everyone had begged to be in the same group as him. In the end, he chose these few awakened who had higher graded talents and were more suited for battle as his teammates. 1. At this moment, Wang Qing was the powerful DPS of the team. 1. The other members managed to hold off the mutated poison rats, but they could not deal with the mutated poison rats alone, so they could only hold it out. Wang Qing, on the other hand, had a bow and arrow. With his powerful B-grade talent, every arrow had a green glow on it. After these arrows pierced into the mutated poison rats, it did not seem to have any effect at first. However, after a while, the mutated poison rats fell one by one. 2. With the talent, the arrows seemed to have a delayed poison effect, too. Other than Wang Qing, Lu Yan also took note of a girl wearing sportswear. Although she was not strong, her talent seemed to be of a support type. 1. Whenever a member was in mortal danger, she would use her talent, which would cause the mutated poison rat to suddenly stop and lose the opportunity to attack. With this girl as support and Wang Qing's powerful DPS, the battle was settled in about 10 minutes. The 6 mutated poison rats all fell to the ground. As for the awakened, they were gasping for breath. At the same time, their faces were filled with joy as they counted their gains. Seeing this, Lu Yan shook his head slightly. A total of 8 awakened had gone through so much trouble to deal with just 6 mutated poison rats, but their gains were meager. 1. For 8 of them to divide the express obtained from 6 level 1 beasts, added to the fact that the mutated poison rats weren't guarding any rare resources, their harvest was indeed a tad too little. On the other hand, Lu Yan had dealt with 5 level 1 green pythons, gained the express of 5 beasts alone, and also obtained the rare detoxifying purple herb that the pythons had been guarding. 6. Apart from that, Lu Yan had also obtained a large number of attributes and skills through divine extraction. 2. The difference between the gains of both sides was quite big. The gains of the 8 of them were not even 1/3 of what Lu Yan had gained. 2. Thinking of this, Lu Yan suddenly felt that his choice to have refused to join a team and chosen to go alone was correct. Forming a team seemed to allow the awakened to work together, so their combat strength was a little stronger, but the gains would also be much smaller. On top of that, with more people, it would naturally be less convenient to move around. In fact, it would not be much safer. 1. For example, for the current Lu Yan, if he could win, he would fight. If he won, he would obtain all the gains alone. If he could not win, being by himself, it would be easy for him to escape alone. If he had companions, it would be inconvenient instead. 1. At this moment, Wang Qing, who was in the front, had a face full of joy. He exclaimed, "I've leveled up. I've reached level 2 and I've become much stronger. Ha ha ha." Hearing Wang Qing's exclamation, the other awakened in the team were filled with joy and envy as they started to praise. Big brother Wang Qing is really amazing. To think you can level up in just a day. Yeah, it's only the first day of us entering the tower, and big brother Wang Qing has already leveled up. You must be a genius. So this is the power of a B grade talent. It's too amazing. Thank God big brother Wang Qing is leading us. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to defeat these mutated poison rats. We might even have encountered danger by now. 2. Quote ellipsis quote. The other awakened surrounded Wang Qing and congratulated him one after another, fawning over him. Seeing this, Lu Yan laughed in his heart. 2. The reason why Wang Qing was able to level up so quickly was that he was the powerful DPS of the team. He had dealt almost all of the killing blows to the mutated poison rats, and as such, most of the express had been snatched away by him. In the battle just now, the other 7 awakened had risked their lives. They had worked so hard, but almost all of their express had been distributed to Wang Qing. That was why Wang Qing was able to level up so quickly. Without the support of the other awakened, even though Wang Qing's B-grade talent was powerful, it was only an offensive-type talent. He wouldn't have had much ability to protect himself and he would have long been beaten to death by the mutated poison rats. Rather than saying that Wang Qing had protected the other awakened, it was more appropriate to say that the other awakened were risking their lives to work for Wang Qing. They risked their lives and put in a lot of effort, yet in the end, most of the final rewards belonged to Wang Qing. 1. Out of curiosity, Lu Yan used his smart wristband to check Wang Qing's stats. 5. Wang Qing. Level 23300ths. HP 555/150ths. MP 283/150ths. Strength, Attack 1-8, Vitality, Defense 1-7, Agility, Speed 2-1. Spirit Mana 1-4. Adaptability, Magic Resistance 1-5, Luck Probability 3-5. 2. Allocatable Attribute Points 8. Talent. Poison Arrow B grade. When using a bow and arrows, the arrows will be coated with a layer of deadly poison that will activate after 5 seconds. 12. Equipment. Federation Standard Beginner's Bow and Arrow F grade 1. A B grade talent was indeed very powerful. It had a very powerful offensive ability since the early stages. However, Lu Yan compared it to his SSS grade talent Divine Extraction, and shook his head slightly. 3. The B grade talent might seem powerful, but its growth potential was very poor. It was just more powerful in the early stages. Without a good growth potential, it would become less useful in the later stages. If the awakened was powerful and had a high hit rate with the bow and arrow, it would be fine. But if the awakened wasn't powerful enough, no matter how powerful the poison on the arrows was, it would be useless if they couldn't hit the target. Currently, facing only low-leveled beasts, it was still enough since they could hit the target easily. In the future, the higher-leveled beasts would be incomparably agile, and it would be difficult to hit the target. 2. All in all, although this talent, being in the B grade, was relatively powerful, it was mainly only powerful in the early stages. It didn't have much growth potential, and could be considered inferior even among B-grade talents, let alone being compared to Lu Yan's SSS grade talent. So this is a B-grade talent. The gap between them was too huge. Lu Yan laughed in his heart. Chapter 9. Reject the Invitation, Danger is Coming. 1. In the forest, Lu Yan observed the team of awakened from the side. The awakened had just finished their big battle with the few mutated poison rats. At this moment, they seemed to be quite relaxed as they chatted about distributing the rewards. It's all thanks to big brother Wang Qing, otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to defeat these mutated poison rats at all. These beasts are only at level 1, but they're so powerful. It's hard to imagine how powerful the higher level beasts are. No wonder the instructor had said that the tower was extremely dangerous and that every beast was also extremely dangerous. These mutated poison rats are much weaker than the green pythons from before though. Sigh, it's a pity that those two died fighting the green pythons just now. We can't defeat those green pythons nor can we avenge them. We could only run away. Those green pythons seem to be guarding some kind of scarce resources. It's a pity that we're not strong enough to obtain the resources. Quote. 1. Hearing their conversation, Lu Yan, who was not far away, immediately understood. It seemed that the den of green pythons that Lu Yan had killed previously had fought against this group of people before he came along. No wonder there weren't many skills that were obtained from the corpses of the awakened in the green pythons' bellies. It turned out that they only had D-grade talents. 1. At this moment, the girl that Lu Yan had taken note of earlier was also flattering Wang Qing. Big brother Wang Qing, since you're so strong, you must protect us in the future. We simply can't survive without you, the girl said with a fawning expression. 1. Global Towers. Starting with the SSS rank talent, God Tier Extraction. Chapter 10. The Powerful Huge Rodent Leader, Bloody Battle. In the forest on level 1 of the tower, 4 awakened were walking while swearing. Wang Qing is too much of a bully. To think he only picked and left trash for us. Does he think we're beggars? That's right. He can't be like this even if he's strong, right? All of us have D-grade and above talents, and we're all core strengths. 2. I have a C-grade talent. As long as I leave the tower alive, I'll be able to receive the Federation's focused training. To think that I treated Wang Qing as my big brother back then. He's just bad. The 4 awakened were the few who had left Wang Qing's team previously. Although they were displeased with Wang Qing and had thus left, they knew that they weren't quite strong enough. Therefore, the 4 of them still went around together since they didn't dare to do so alone. As they were walking, they smelled a pungent smell of blood. Immediately, they quieted down and cautiously approached the front. Pushing aside the dense grass, they saw the corpses of several green pythons lying in the open space before them. Seeing that there were only the corpses of a few green pythons and that there were no other beasts, which meant there was no danger, they walked forward and began to check the scene. Aren't these green pythons the ones that we met before? That's right. 2 of our companions had died in battle here back then. Strange. We were clearly the strongest team of awakened, but even we were unable to defeat these green pythons, so who exactly killed them? Something's not right. Look at the wounds, they're all from a dagger. These green pythons seem to have been killed by one person. 4. One person. How is that possible? It's already very difficult for one person to kill a single green python that's so powerful. How is it possible for someone to kill 5 alone? 1. For a moment, the 4 awakened were all shocked. They couldn't believe that someone could be so powerful as to kill 5 green pythons alone. 1. At the same time, the person in question, Lu Yan, was on the other side, where Wang Qing was. When Wang Qing heard Lu Yan's rejection, he was instantly disappointed, but he didn't take it seriously. From Wang Qing's point of view, Lu Yan wasn't weak, but he probably wasn't very strong either. It was fine if he didn't want to join since he had only invited him with the intention for him to be cannon fodder. At this moment, the ground started trembling slightly. What's going on? The expressions of Wang Qing and the others all changed as they could feel that something wasn't right. As for Lu Yan, who possessed spirit vision, he had long sensed that there were powerful beasts approaching from the underground. However, Lu Yan had the ghost steps, so he wasn't quite worried either. If he wasn't a match for the beasts, he could easily leave, and as such there wasn't any danger for him to stay here. Suddenly, numerous enormous rat-shaped beasts appeared. Seeing this, Wang Qing smiled relaxedly, so it's just a few more rats. Don't be afraid, everyone. With me around, we can kill these beasts as we please. 1. However, as soon as Wang Qing finished saying this, a large number of rat-shaped beasts appeared around them again. At the same time, a strange black beast that was the size of 2 people had also appeared. It looked extremely ferocious. Lu Yan quickly used his smart wristband to check its stats. 3. Huge rodent. Level 1. HP 200 200ths. MP. 100 100ths. Strength. 1-7. Vitality. 1-8. Agility. 2-1. Spirit. 1-7. Adaptability. 1-9. Skills. Group movement. Huge rodent leader. Level. 2. HP. 400 400ths. MP. 200 200ths. Strength. 3-2. Vitality. 3-5. Agility. 3-3. Spirit. 28. Adaptability. 2-4. Talents. Charge, Devour, 5. The huge rodents weren't very strong. They weren't even as strong as the mutated poison rats, much less the green pythons. However, their numbers were extremely huge. Liu Yan could see more than a dozen of them at a glance. Apart from that, the huge rodent leader was a level 2 beast. In terms of attributes, although it couldn't compare to the current Liu Yan, it was already extremely powerful compared to other awakened. After all, it was only because Liu Yan had divine extraction that his attributes could be heaven-defying. 1. At this moment, Wang Qing's face was also filled with panic as he said, "This won't do. There are too many beasts and even a leader. Let's quickly retreat." As he said this, Wang Qing led the few awakened with him as they fought while retreating. They delayed the huge rodents while leaving at the same time. However, at this moment, the huge rodent leader that was extremely large but also swift on its feet instantly arrived behind Wang Qing and the others, blocking their path of retreat. Liu Yan, who was in the group of huge rodents, was not panicking. He simply calmly watched the scene in front of him, wanting to see how Wang Qing and the other awakened would react. Seeing this, Wang Qing's expression immediately changed. He knew that if he was stopped here, he would die in battle here. With a B-grade talent, Wang Qing's desire to live was very strong. As long as he could survive, he could become an expert as well as obtain status and wealth that were unimaginable to the ordinary awakened. Wang Qing looked at his companion, Song Yu, and pulled her over. He pushed her towards the huge rodent leader and said, "Quick, Song Yu, use your talent. I will cooperate with you to attack." Song Yu's pretty face was filled with panic, but when she heard Wang Qing's words, she gritted her teeth and held back her fear. She quickly activated her C-grade talent, Delay, on the huge rodent leader. Song Yu closed her eyes slightly, and an invisible force was released. With that, the huge rodent that was charging over suddenly stopped in its tracks. As the huge rodent's level was higher than Song Yu's, their strength wasn't on the same level. Thus, the effects of Song Yu's talent didn't reach 3 seconds and only lasted for a second. After a second, the huge rodent resumed its movement and charged toward Song Yu again. Liu Yan, who was not far away, was slightly surprised when he saw this. To be able to delay a beast of a higher level for a second, the talent delay was really not bad. At this moment, Song Yu, who had finished using delay, was slightly exhausted. Seeing that the huge rodent was continuing to charge over, her face was immediately filled with panic as she said, "Big brother Wang, hurry up and attack. I can't hold on any longer." Song Yu shouted, but the familiar poison arrow did not appear from behind her. Feeling that something was wrong, she turned around and saw that Wang Qing was already running away with the other two awakened. He did not care about her at all. As it turned out, Wang Qing knew that he was not a match for the huge rodent leader as well as the many huge rodents, so he was not prepared to fight at all. When he said that he would cooperate with Song Yu to attack, he was actually lying to her. He wanted to sacrifice Song Yu so that she could stall for time for them to have a chance to escape. 1. Song Yu's eyes were filled with despair and regret, but it was too late. The huge rodent instantly arrived before Song Yu, and with a bite, she fell to the ground and was dead. 11. Liu Yan, who was not far away, had just been paying attention to Song Yu's talent and was not expecting Wang Qing to betray Song Yu. 4. As such, by the time Liu Yan came to his senses and wanted to save her, it was already too late. 12. After Song Yu fell, the huge rodent leader did not continue to chase after Wang Qing and the others. Instead, it pounced on her corpse and gnawed on it. Blood and organs spilled all over the ground. Song Yu, who was cute and charming just a moment ago, had now become a terrifying piece of meat. Seeing this from not far away, Wang Qing's face turned pale with fear. At the moment, he couldn't care less about the spoils of war that he hadn't taken with him. His life was more important, and he was prepared to take the opportunity to escape. However, at this moment, the huge rodent leader had already finished eating Song Yu's corpse. 1. Following that, the size of the huge rodent leader, which was already as big as two people, actually expanded once again. 1.